Okay, last night I came up in here and left 2 audio recorders, and so I'm back in here today on Thursday to retrieve those audio recorders, and I just picked up the first one and listened to it, and I picked up a helicopter that was really low to the ground. So I'm kind of wondering why this area is really densely foliated. So it's not like they could land. So I'm kind of wondering if they were looking for somebody up in here. I'm kind of driving along on the road, so I'm kind of talking while I do this, and hopefully taking some usable photos as I bounce over the rocks to be able to let you see what it's like in here. Sorry if it gets a little bit too movie for a lot of you, but anyway, how I determine whether an area or not is worthwhile checking out is I go through a set of criteria when I'm selecting a spot to check, and well, let me get over these bumps. Okay, what I do is I select an area that has plenty of water. Now, I'm not talking about cowpun scum water. I'm talking about clear running water, because Bigfoots like us, they don't like to drink this scum pond. At least I figured this out because I have checked enough cow ponds for tracks to know that they don't use cow ponds, but I do find from time to time prints and indications that they use streams, clear running water, fresh water. So pick a place that's got lots of running water, and then a place that's got lots of food. And I'm not talking food of food like just plants or animals, but both. Something that's got lots of vegetation that they can eat. Wild berries, apples, grapes, wild grapes. They can eat both the leaves and the grapes. The pine boughs, the wild onions, choke cherries, that kind of stuff. So you pick a place that's abundant in food, lots of deer, lots of elk, lots of turkey, lots of game that they can hunt. So you pick these places out, and that narrows down lots of the vast areas that most people spend their time driving through and searching, and chances are your Bigfoot won't be there, because basically they have to make a living just like us, and they've got to find food and eat, and they're not going to waste time in an area that doesn't provide. Okay, so got to find a place, lots of water, lots of food. Next one is lots of vegetation to hide behind. They are cryptid in nature. They have to hide. That's what they do. So it has to be very thickly forested. And that's why I don't waste my time in some areas that have nothing but tall pines and no undergrowth, because there's no place to hide. And the third thing is the absence of man. The less man, the better. So, that's why sometimes I'm back in here in some of these areas where, literally I see nobody for a day or two. So, and that's why I bounce over a lot of rocks and so forth. It's because because of the roughness of the terrain. Okay, so you picked out a couple areas that are match the criteria. They look like good areas. So the next thing I do is plant audio devices, audio listeners. Basically, these are voice-activated tape recorders with sensitivity on them to where they kick on fairly quick. Okay, these audio recorders actually gather information a lot better than game cameras, because you can place your video or your audio out, and if there's a Bigfoot in the area and he lets out a bellow or starts wood knocking or something like that, it'll pick it up. And if you've got 2 or 3 recorders in a given area and you start hearing something, sometimes you can tell by the volume of the knock or the bellow, as you get an idea of what direction away from your recorders it is. So you have at least a start, and you have an idea that at least something's in the area. If you've planted audio out for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, and you get nothing but birds chirping and planes passing over and so forth, then it's time to move on. This is where I put my other audio recorder. It was in the wedge of this tree. I'm hoping it's still there. And yes, it is. Very good. We'll listen to it here in a few minutes. The reason why I chose this place is this artesian well. I'm going to go up and see if it's got any water in it. But I figured it would be a good place to put an audio device to listen to see if there's any deer or elk or anything like that. And yeah, it's got water. Tank's full, and the well is running. Now, I noticed that when they built this tank, they must have been afraid that it would fill up and small critters might fall in it and drown. So down here on this end, they made steps to where if it fell in, the critter could get out. I thought that was kind of them. Kind of whoever made this tank. But this is probably good drinking water, especially if you get it right out of the well itself right there. So I wanted to take some pictures of the surrounding area that I'm working in. It's a really beautiful area. Nice, majestic mountains, so forth.